Welcome to The Daily. It's Tuesday, May 3rd with Simon Borg. I'm Jason Seguini. We're going to start up in Portland as the Timbers take on the San Jose Earthquakes in US Open Cup play-in action tonight, Simon.
Jason, Portland, a city that really loves its US Open Cup competition. After so many years of participating in the lower divisions in the Open Cup, they really appreciate this tournament. And it's a Portland team that's right now perfect at home. 3 league matches played at Jeld-Wen Field, 3 wins for the Timbers. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of lineup they put out there, because they have a league match on national TV this coming Friday.
Also interesting to see what Frank Gallup on the other side is going to do with San Jose, a team that's kind of been struggling lately, mixing and matching their lineups in the last few weeks.
2 drastically different lineups in their last 2 league losses. Difficult to say what he's going to come up with, Frank Gallup, this time around. But going for the Earthquakes is the fact that they've played the Timbers twice in Open Cup play. Both have been in Portland, and they've come away with shutout victories on both occasions.
All right, that was before they were in MLS. You can watch that game 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on PortlandTimbers.com. We're going to move on to some news for ahead of the Summer Gold Cup action. Dwayne De Rosario, New York Red Bulls midfielder, apparently not going to join Canada.
And that news, Jason, not being broken by De Rosario. It's Hans Backe, New York Red Bulls head coach, who said he did not expect De Rosario to join the Canadian national team for the Gold Cup. And he said if DeRo did, he'd be disappointed. So Hans Backe really painting him into a corner, but we'll find out a lot more later today. Stephen Hart, the national team coach for Canada, giving a press conference, and we'll sure to address that issue.
Well, details are also coming in on another player, Omar Bravo, expected to rejoin Sporting Kansas City soon. Looks like he's aiming for May 14th now, a game against the LA Galaxy.
Yeah, and in this case, it's the player announcing this on his site. Omar Bravo saying that things are going along, the recovery better than expected from that hernia surgery that's kept him out the last few weeks. When he does come back, interesting to see what Peter Vermes will do. You have Ryan Smith's back. CJ Sapong has kind of filled that role in left attack. So it's going to be interesting decisions for Vermes.
All right, another Mexican in the news, well, a Brazilian who's been nationalized in Mexico, I guess. Zinha, the Toluca midfielder, soon to be 35 years old, says he's ready to come to MLS.
Yeah, Zinha is done with Toluca. Toluca did not make it into the Mexican League playoffs, the Liguilla. So he's separating himself from the club, says he wants to come to MLS, Houston or Chicago, preferably. His wife has family in those 2 cities. Houston, I don't see happening. Chicago could be an interesting fit. We'll see. He's a little advanced in age, but he's a crafty little midfielder. MLS fans will remember him from the CONCACAF Champions League matchup against Columbus. He single-handedly eliminated the MLS team.
Yeah, I would actually say, what about Columbus as a potential suitor for him? A team that lost Schelotto, but a similar player, a guy who, you know, isn't overly athletic, a little up there in age, but he has the ability, the passing ability, and could be the engine in the midfield for them.
You know, I mean, he could be an easy replacement for Schelotto. He's kind of a similar player, but I think the crew are fine. They have Dilly Duca, who's now been starting matches. He's been doing well for the crew, and the last stat from the league match against Vancouver, a 2-1 win for Columbus, he completed 93% of his passes in that linking area at attacking midfield, where he linked up with Emilio Renteria.
All right, well, very interesting stuff coming out of Simon in the statistics booth, I guess. We're going to wrap up for today, but I wanted to remind everyone, Extra Time Radio, yesterday we had Robin Fraser of the, I guess, resurgent Chivas USA, but more importantly, we had a dancing bear.
Who knew bears can talk? But stay tuned. If you don't know who it is, you should be ashamed. Listen to Extra Time and find out who it is.
You can never have too many dancing bears on your podcast. That's all we have for today. We'll be back on The Daily tomorrow.